Hello everybody, today we are going to start with a new unit. It's the second unit for this year. We are going to start with health and nutrition. As you can see in the picture, it's clear that this lesson or this unit is related to health and nutrition from the picture that we have here. It's a body of a human being but made of fruits and vegetables. So it's clear that this unit is about health and nutrition. Let's see what do we have next. First of all, we are going to look at the pictures that we have here. Let's talk about them a bit. Let's look at the first picture here. We have a fruits bowl and we have a stethoscope. And as you can see, the fruits bowl is heart-shaped. This shows the importance of fruits and vegetables and importance of healthy food and a healthy diet in general. The second picture here shows a heartbeat, someone who is practicing, and a brain. This picture also shows the importance of health. Why is it important to be healthy? Why is health very important? Okay, so also we are going to discuss this. So from these two pictures, we can infer that our lesson is about maybe healthy food and unhealthy food. Why is healthy food important? Importance of health and so on. Let's now look at these two pictures, junk food versus healthy food. As you can see, junk food is made up of saturated foods, highly saturated, high in calories, high in sugar. Okay, but while the healthy food is very natural, very healthy. From the picture, you can just infer that this is very healthy. Okay, now we move to the most important picture here, which is the two thumbs that we have. We have thumbs up and thumbs down. Let's see. In the thumbs down, we can see pizza, burgers, hot dogs, French fries, all the unhealthy food. And in the thumb up, we can see fruits, vegetables, strawberries, coconuts, cherries, and other kinds of fruits. From this picture, what can you infer? What can you conclude from this picture? We can conclude that the healthy food is great for our health and for our body, while the junk food is harmful and leads to disastrous healthy effects. So the main point of our lesson today is why is junk food harmful and how is the healthy food beneficial to our bodies. Let's watch this video. It's a little bit long, so we are going to watch a part of the video. I want you, while watching the video, please take notes and answer a very big question.
But have ever stopped to
Why
think just how
should
bad? Let's
we
first see
stop
what we mean
eating
with fast
junk
food.
food?
Fast food
They
is
are
the
going
term
to
given to
mention
food that can
many
be prepared and
reasons in
served
the
very
video.
quickly.
Try to take
Fast
notes.
food can also be defined as any food that
show
contributes
us
little or no nutrient
why.
value to
Tell
the
me
diet,
why,
but
okay?
instead provides excess calories and fat. Fast food can be a good way to save time, but it is not the proper way for nutrition. Some of these foods that are of little nutritional value and often high in fat, sugar, and calories. Common foods include salted snack foods, gum, candy, sweet desserts, fried fast food, and carbonated beverages. Fast food may include chips, hot pies, pasties, sandwiches, burgers, croissants, kebabs, pizzas, chicken, soups, and salads. It also includes drinks, for instance, milkshakes and soft drinks. Fast food costs relatively little and tastes good, but the negative effects on physical health last much longer than these immediate concerns. With the high-calorie meals come more fat, cholesterol, salt and sugar, and therefore fewer vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients than in healthier foods. Let's see what the doctor says.
I actually went on a Project Unhealthy. In 5 days, I gained 8 pounds. In 5 days, I actually became hypertensive, developed high blood pressure. I don't even want to know what was going on inside my body. America, listen up. This is what you're doing to yourself. I did it for 5 days. I felt miserable. I gained weight. I put my body in jeopardy, and it wasn't worth it. And you know what? I'm never going to do it again. Why did I do it? To prove a point. When you eat these foods, it causes an addictive pattern in your mind. But in the end, all you end up is overweight, lethargic, and not feeling good about yourself.
From the heart, brain to kidneys and liver, junk food items can ruin all organs of your body. Here's how. Fast foods are loaded with fat and calories. Ordering without restraint will have negative effects on your weight as you routinely take in more calories than you can expend. Junk foods contain large amounts of saturated fat and cholesterol, which in excess may put you at risk for heart disease. These man-made, processed fats foods are often high in salt, or sodium. Excess sodium in your diet can increase your risk of high blood pressure and stroke. A diet that provides large amounts of processed carbohydrates like those in candy, commercial baked goods and potato chips, promotes insulin resistance. In insulin resistance, some cells no longer respond to insulin, which leads to high blood sugar, increasing risk of diabetes. Junk foods with low dietary fiber and lack of nutritive value is a main contributor towards breast and colorectal cancers. Since the distribution of the fast food meal that you eat doesn't get distributed in the body evenly, the fat tends to accumulate in the liver and can cause permanent damage, inflammation, and even scarring. Now it's time for you to stop eating junk food. Thanks for watching. If you like our video, share it and follow us on our social media.
In insulin resistance, some cells no longer respond to insulin, which leads to high blood sugar, increasing risk of diabetes. Junk foods with low dietary fiber and lack of nutritive value is a main contributor towards breast and colorectal cancers. Since the distribution of the fast food meal that you eat doesn't get distributed in the body evenly, the fat tends to accumulate in the liver and can cause permanent damage, inflammation, and even scarring. Now it's time for you to stop eating junk food. Thanks for...
So this was the video. As you can see from the video, it's clear that junk food causes many healthy problems such as obesity, heart diseases, and they mentioned something very important, which is it might be addictive. See, the doctor who did the experience having junk food for 5 days, he said that this may be addictive. Okay, let's see what do we have next. I answered the question here, why should you stop eating junk food, based of course on the video that you have watched and on your prior knowledge. First of all, junk food may be the reason behind your fatigue. Okay, when you feel that you are tired, you are exhausted, you are unable to do anything, okay, you have no energy, maybe junk food may be one of the reasons that cause fatigue. Number 2, junk food may lead to depression in teenagers. The first thing that leads to depression, especially in teenagers, is their outer shape. Okay, and of course junk food leads to obesity, especially in teenagers, which really causes depression. Number 3, it impairs digestion. You will have digestion problems due to eating junk food. It causes fluctuations in blood sugar levels. You won't have a stable sugar level in your blood. It affects brain function. It increases the risk of heart disease, and of course it may lead to death. Okay, due to heart diseases, it may lead to death due to the high amount of fats which is found in junk foods. Number 7, it can cause kidney disease. Number 8, it can damage your liver. These are based on the video, okay? They are mentioned in the video that we have watched. It can cause type 2 diabetes, which is very dangerous. And number 10, it increases your risk of cancer. So all of these impacts of junk food are enough, I guess, to convince a person to stop eating junk food, right? Because it really leads to disastrous effects. Now we are going to start with our lesson. As I said, this is chapter 2. The theme is health and nutrition, and the first lesson is this is your body on fast food. The objectives that we are going to cover throughout this unit are to identify the concept of healthy and junk food, to define, to know what is a healthy food, what is junk food, identify the benefits of healthy food and the outcomes of junk food, the impacts, negative impacts of junk food. Of course, when you finish the lesson, you will have a general idea about the negative effects, the disastrous effects that junk food may lead to. Objective 2 is related to our comprehension skill, and it's about compare and contrast. So we have to compare and contrast two things or people or issues. The third objective is related to vocabulary, and we have to figure out the meanings of unfamiliar words using context clues. The fourth objective is to answer different referential and inferential questions related to the text and demonstrate a critical understanding of the text through answering different kinds of questions and critical thinking. This is the summary of our lesson. So by the end of this lesson, you will learn what are the differences between healthy food and junk food, and how does junk food affect a human's body. First of all, we are going to start with our comprehension skill. Okay, this skill is to compare and contrast. The first thing that I want you to know is that when we compare, we are stating the similarities, while when we contrast, we are stating the differences. Okay, let's read together. What is comparison? So comparison is to tell how two or more things or people or places or events are similar. So when I'm comparing, I am stating the similarities. Okay? What are some words that I use in order to compare? I may use both, similar to, same, also, as well as, similarly. Okay? So keep this in mind. When we compare, we are stating the similarities, not the differences. What is contrast? Contrast is to tell how two or more things, people, places, or events are different. So the opposite. Compare is to tell how they are similar, and contrast is to tell how they are different. Okay? Some of the contrast words that we might use are however, in contrast, different, while, on the other hand, but, although, unlike. All of these are words we can use in order to contrast between two or more things, places, people, or events. Okay? So let's repeat. To compare is to state the similarities, and to contrast is to state the differences. Okay? Now, in order to compare and contrast, we usually use a graphic organizer called a Venn diagram. As you can see, this is the graphic organizer I'm talking about. It's called a Venn diagram. This is it. A Venn diagram is divided into three parts. This is the first part, number 1. This is number 2, and this is number 3. I'm going to talk about each one and tell you what do we write in each part of the Venn diagram. Okay? I'm gonna start with number 2, since it's in the middle. As you can see here, we can see the word both. Both means comparison, means similarities. So in the middle, we write the similarities between the two things we are comparing. Okay? Now, in numbers 1 and 3, we write the differences. It means we contrast here. So, in number 1 and number 3, we write the differences, and in the middle, we write the common points between the two things we are comparing and contrasting. Okay, so this is called a Venn diagram. As you can see, it's divided into 3 parts. I numbered them for you. the part which is in the middle, you will write the similarities, the common points, and in the parts which are on the right and on the left side, you write the differences between the two things you are comparing and contrasting. Okay? Let's read this paragraph together and fill in the Venn diagram that we have next. So read the following paragraph carefully, then fill in the Venn diagram below with 2 similarities and 2 differences between Paleo-Indians and archaic people. Let's read the paragraph together. I am going to highlight the similarities and the differences. Let's see. Paleo-Indians and archaic people had some similarities, but also many differences. They both lived on the same land. So this is one similar point. However, the Paleo-Indians lived at a time when the Earth's climate was much colder. Ice and snow gave way to lush grasslands where large animals such as mammoths provided food for the Paleo natives. Paleo people used handheld sticks and spears to hunt large animals, while here shows that there's something different. Paleo people used handheld sticks and spears to hunt large animals, while the archaic people developed the atlatl to enable them to throw spears from a longer distance. In contrast also, see, this is very important. In contrast, shows that I'm going to mention some differences. To the Paleo-Indians, the archaic people enjoyed a warmer climate and the environment was much as it today. While both shows that there's something similar, were hunter-gatherers who followed their prey from place to place. The archaic people returned to the same campsites each year. Both groups gathered seeds, berries, roots, and leaves, but shows that there is a difference here. The archaic people also fished ground flour and developed hooks, nets, traps, baskets, and canoes. The later archaic people even began simple farming, unlike the earlier Paleo-Indians. So as you can see here, there are lots of similarities, such as both were hunter-gatherers who followed their prey from place to another. Other than that, both lived on the same land. We have some differences, such as the ways they used to hunt their prey and the weather they liked to live in. Let's see how I wrote these information in the Venn diagram. This is the Venn diagram. The most important thing that I want you to follow is to write a heading above the Venn diagram. Paleo-Indians, archaic Indians, and both. Okay, so usually you have to write these headings in order to let the reader know what are you comparing. Okay, so we have to write headings: Paleo-Indians, archaic Indians, and in the middle, of course, we write the similarities. Look how I wrote them. We have the Paleo-Indians are people used held sticks and spears to hunt large animals, while the archaic people developed the atlatl to enable them to throw spears from a longer distance. The Paleo-Indians, look here, they enjoyed cold climate, while the archaic people enjoyed warmer climate. Both lived on the same land. This is the first similarity. Both groups were hunter-gatherers. So this is the way I organized my ideas in the Venn diagram. Now, this is the first way to answer such a question or exercise. There are many other ways, but usually we follow the Venn diagram because it's easier to develop the ideas. Now we are going to move to the vocabulary words related to this lesson. The first vocabulary word is addictive. Of course, you know, when we say that this person is addicted to something, he is addicted to video games, addicted to drugs. Addicted means he cannot stop. When someone is addicted to video games, it means he cannot stop video games. So something which is addictive is something that you cannot stop taking once you have started, okay? Like the drugs or video games or sometimes junk food or alcohol. All of these are addictive things that you cannot stop once you have started. Now we move to the second word, which is cranky. When I say that this person is cranky, it means this person is annoyed easily, okay? You can annoy this person easily. Fleetingly is the third word. It's an adjective. It means in a way that lasts only a short time. Something which lasts for a short time, we can say that it is fleetingly passing, okay? It's lasting for a short time. Opportunity is a noun, and of course, opportunity is a chance. Chance for having a new job, chance for having, let's say, tourism in a certain country, chance for winning a certain trophy. So an opportunity is an occasion or a chance or situation that makes it possible to do something that you want, okay? Savor is number 5, and it's a verb. For example, if I said, I savor eating a hamburger. I enjoy, I love, okay? When you savor something, it means you enjoy this, okay? You enjoy this thing. You feel happy for doing such an experience. Now we move to number 6, nourishing. It's an adjective. Something which is nourishing is something that makes you healthy, makes you strong, provides you with nutrients, with vitamins. Anything which is nourishing is a drink or food that makes you healthy and strong. Number 7, metabolism. It's a noun, and it's the chemical process in your body, especially that causes food to be used as energy, for energy and growth. Okay, so the digested food, when the nutrients from the digested food move to the blood and to be distributed to the whole body through blood, this process is called metabolism. Number 8, constipation. It's also a noun, a condition which makes someone unable to empty their bowels as often as they should. So when you are unable to, let's make it easier, just go to the toilet as often as you have to, due to some digestion problems, which might be caused by junk food. Now we move to our lesson. Look at the meal that we have here in the picture. It's very delicious. So the title of our lesson, This is Your Body on Fast Food. From the title, we can directly infer that the lesson is going to tell us how is our body going to act or be due to fast food or junk food. I'm going to start reading the lesson for you, and then we're going to move to the exercises. Of course, I'm going to stop every now and then in order to explain, okay? What is junk food? So this is the first question that they started with, and as if they are going to define junk food. What is junk food? Essentially, it is any food that is highly processed, high in calories, and low in nutrients. Junk food is also usually high in added sugars, salt, and saturated or trans fats. Some evidence points to junk foods as being as addictive as alcohol and drugs. See, this was what I was telling you about, which is junk food might be addictive, such as alcohol and drugs. Fast food is food that is prepared quickly and eaten quickly or taken out. Although there are a growing number of healthier fast food options, most fast food can still be classified as junk food. So in this paragraph, they are trying to show you that there is a difference between fast food and junk food. Okay? Fast food is any meal which is prepared quickly, eaten quickly. Okay? But you can prepare something quickly and and have a healthy meal. So all the meals which are prepared quickly, eaten quickly, and unhealthy are classified as junk food. If they are prepared quickly, eaten quickly, but healthy, they're not classified as junk food. Number 2, eating a poor quality diet high in junk food is linked to see what eating a poor quality diet causes. A high risk of obesity, depression, digestive issues, heart disease, and stroke, type 2 diabetes, cancer, and early death. So all of these may be caused due to having a poor quality diet. And as you might expect, frequency matters when it comes to the impact of junk food on your health. A review of studies on fast food and heart health found that having fast food more than once a week was linked to higher risk of obesity, while eating fast food more than twice a week was associated with higher risk of metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and death from coronary heart diseases. So all of these are related. As you can see, these diseases may be caused also due to having junk food. It is human nature to think about benefits and risks over the short term rather than considering the impact our choices have over the long term. So junk food have short-term effects and long-term effects. Effects that are happening now and effects that will happen in the future. So how does the consumption of junk food affect your body over the short term? Just a few days of junk food could change your metabolism. A small study of 12 healthy young men found eating junk food for just 5 days led to a reduced ability of their muscles to turn glucose into energy, even though they didn't eat more calories as part of the study. Over the long term, this change could lead to insulin resistance and eventually type 2 diabetes. So on the short term, you will have a change in your metabolism, and on the long term, you might have type 2 diabetes. Okay. So junk food effect of just a couple of days of junk food is poor digestion. So this is what happens on the short term, poor digestion, because junk food lacks fiber. Eating too much of it could lead to constipation. That single fast food meal can narrow your arteries, leading to an increase in blood pressure. See what happens? It might also narrow the arteries and increase in blood pressure. And the quick spike in your blood pressure from eating junk foods high in refined carbohydrates and added sugars can cause sugar and insulin, leading to a quick drop in blood sugar. That leaves you feeling tired, cranky, and hungry for more. Okay, so all of these may leave you tired, exhausted, cranky, and sometimes very sensitive and hungry for more. You will feel that you are very hungry. Just one serving of junk food can increase inflammation throughout your body. Further, an Australian study suggests that in people with asthma, a fast food meal high in saturated fat can increase inflammation in the airway, potentially making an asthma attack more likely. So, it seems that the quick hit of junk food, while fleetingly rewarding, does carry short-term risks. Okay, so this is based on an Australian study. The amount of inflammation and oxidative stress which your body will experience after eating occasional junk food seems to be a function of the big picture of your choices over time. If you want to enjoy junk food once in a while but are concerned about the impact on your health, take a look at your overall health habits. Do you smoke or overdo it in alcohol? Are you exercising regularly and eating plenty of nutritious foods such as vegetables, fruit, legumes, fish nuts, and seeds, and whole grains? When it comes to your health, it seems you can get away with the occasional junk food more easily when you follow a healthy lifestyle most of the time. So think about your ratio of healthy to less healthy foods. When you're making the choice between healthier option and junk food, consider that just one healthy meal a day worked into the typical American diet could reduce overall stress and inflammation in your body. Every meal is an opportunity to positively impact your body, your health. Based on the current research, my advice essentially remains the same. Once you're aware of all the short-term and long-term impacts of junk food and you still really want some, have it less than once a week and really savor it. Then get right back to enjoying nourishing, nutritious foods. So the author here is giving the readers an advice. If you cannot stop eating junk food, try to eat one meal once a week and really enjoy it. Okay, when you enjoy this meal and have it once a week, go back to nutritious foods and enjoy nourishing foods also. Let's start with the exercises that we have here, referring to the above text. Define junk food. So as we said, junk food is food which is highly processed, high in sugars, added sugars, and high in calories. Refer to paragraph 7 to tell how a person can reduce the impact of junk food when consumed. You can reduce this impact when you have a healthy meal, when you exercise, when you try to get rid of all of these fats and calories you gained. Why is taking one healthy meal a day important? It is very important because it provides you with energy, with nutrients. That's why it is very important. What was the writer's advice for people who cannot stop consuming junk food? As we said a few seconds ago, he asked them to have one meal a week, once a week, savor it, enjoy it to the maximum, and then go back to your nourishing diet. What would you say for a person who is addicted to junk food? How would you convince him to eat healthy food instead? Explain. If I wanted to convince a person to stop eating junk food, I would ask him to read this selection. This selection, the text that we have read, is rich with information about the negative effects of junk food. So I think this is enough. You can tell them about all the negative sides of eating junk food on your health, on your even on your brain, everything related to your life. That's why I think this is enough to convince them stop eating junk food. Contrast the effects of junk food over the short term and over the long term. As we said, over the short term, it might cause fatigue. You might feel tired. Over the long term, one of the things that it might cause is type 2 diabetes. Let's check the answers together. So as you can see here, based on paragraph 7, a person can reduce the impact of junk food by eating healthy meals and practicing. So number 2, it is important to have at least one healthy meal daily because it provides our bodies, as I said, with nutrients and energy needed. Number 3, the writer's advice for people who cannot stop eating junk food is to have it once a week and really enjoy it. I would convince a person, as I said, to stop eating junk food. I would explain some, as I said, of the impacts, disastrous impacts of junk food on health and body. And I will ask him to read this selection. The effects over the short term, as we said, changing metabolism resistance, reducing ability to turn glucose into energy, and having poor digestion and constipation pressure. These happen on the short term. These, the ones here, happen over the long term. Let's see, what do you mean by long term? And after a very long period of time, risk of obesity, becoming very fat, causing type 2 diabetes, death from coronary heart diseases. So this was everything concerning this reading lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very interesting lesson, by the way. I like it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.